hexagon, pick when you click on my tab. I'm in love with crypto money. See phrase you ain't getting from me. Crypto Maury, that's for Maury. No lie detector, that's for Murray.
Hi AQ Magazine, so nice to meet you. So, number one, how did you get into music? Who were your early influences? I got into music from a very young age. My parents are big music fans. They played music all the time. Apparently as a baby, I used to headbang to Nirvana, and my parents noticed I had some form of musical ability and nurtured it with piano lessons. I started my piano lessons at the age of 4, and along the way I picked up the trumpet, the guitar, found out I could sing, and when I found out I could sing, for me that was really my calling, because I really enjoyed it. It's like therapy for me, and I just loved doing it. So I ended up being in a choir at the National Children's Choir of Great Britain. It was the only thing I was ever good at, so I focused really hard on that and ended up doing my first tour as a 12-year-old, touring around Australia and New Zealand as the lead soloist for the National Children's Choir of Great Britain. And after that, I heard the first ever Coldplay album, and that is when music truly blew my mind, and I was like, wow. And from that point, I started writing my own songs. I remember my first song was a shitty love song about a girl I fancied next to me in English class and didn't have the courage to tell her I liked her. So I wrote this song and I shared it with one friend. Somehow the whole school knew about it in the end, and the lyrics are just way too cheesy, but the melody was quite good, so I was proud of that. So I wasn't too embarrassed about it. And from there, I went to university and studied a classical music degree, but formed my own indie rock band called Taming the Savage. It was like a 4-man band, and we had a lot of fun playing most of the university parties. We got our first play on radio there at BBC Introducing Yorkshire. And after university, my studies, all I wanted to do was travel and play music, so I gave myself 1 year, one gap year, to play as many shows and see as much of the world as possible. I said yes to every single show, whether it was paid, whether I had to pay to even play it, and that year went a lot better than expected. So I'm still here today after several years on my gap year, and I have to thank all my fans and community for all the love and support, because I wouldn't still be here without them. So yeah, early influences were Coldplay, Snow Patrol, Razorlight, and let's stick with that. Number 2, when not playing your own music, what type of music do you listen to? What's your favourite artist? So my listening tastes change all the time. In the pandemic, I was obsessed with the Billie Eilish debut album, the Jeremy Zucker debut album. That was incredible. I also love Amber Run, who are this incredible band in the UK. I love Right X. His album shook me, and his debut album is probably the most beautiful album I've ever heard. His song Only just destroyed me. It's so beautiful. Now I'm touching back to my old school stuff. Got really into Snow Patrol again after touring with them. I got really into Imagine Dragons again, actually, and I've been listening to all sorts. Number 3, what else do you like to do for fun? I love playing chess. I love playing football. I love reading, especially fiction and fantasy books, but I read a lot of other books that inspire me as well. And eating, I'm definitely a big foodie. Number 4, what's the best concert you have ever been to? Well, if I can be biased here, I have to say the concert opening up for Robbie Williams was beyond my wildest dreams. I got to open up in front of 100,000 people in Munich, warming up the crowd before Robbie Williams, and that was just the most incredible feeling I've ever experienced. It's very nerve-wracking before hitting the stage, but once I was there, it was so special, and it's just like a huge bubble of energy right in front of me. Nothing I've ever experienced before, and hope I get the chance to do so again. Number 5, name a music artist, present or from another era, that you would love to perform on stage with. Well, I've already done Robbie Williams, I've done Snow Patrol. Now, for me, I think the only thing that could top that is Coldplay. They got me into writing songs, and I'm a huge fanboy of Coldplay, no matter how uncool it is to support them. So for me, no brainer, Coldplay. One day, hopefully. Number 6, tell us about Love Letters, the mint and the utility attached. Love Letters is my biggest music NFT collection to date. It's a collection of 888 handmade letters with the song attached to it as well. And the letters feature 2 to 4 lines of the song it's affiliated with, and they were handmade, created one by one on different papers with the different lyrics, with different versions of the songs as well. And the reason I did that is because the whole album, it was 8 songs in total, and the whole album is inspired by the songs that I wrote to my pen pal in New York, and I'm based in Berlin. And I'm a bit of a hopeless romantic, and I was sending her letters like a freak. At some point after she met me and realised I'm not too much of a freak, she was sending them back, and we had this long distance relationship that materialised from that. We ended up meeting each other all around the world, in Paris originally, then Cuba, and it's awesome actually because the Love Letters illustrators are from Paris and Cuba, and that was completely accidental, so it was really special that I made that connection after the collection was complete. And I wrote this whole album during the pandemic when me and my girlfriend were permanently separated because of the lockdown. She was stuck in America and I was stuck in Berlin, and we didn't know when we were going to see each other again. And this love album came out of that, and I really wanted to bring it to life in a whole new way. I wasn't as interested about just dropping it on Spotify and hope it hits a playlist and people to listen to it in the background. I really wanted to bring a lot more meaning to this because I literally put my heart and soul into it, and that's why I created Letters with a song attached. And it's been amazing the reaction so far. The fact that we sold out and made British music history as the first British independent artist to sell out a collection of this size, and to see the wins from my collectors is incredible already. In just a few weeks we had a sale of 2.8 Ethereum after this person just minted it for 0.08, so huge returns for that community member. And in dollars, that's $100 mint turning to a over $4,000 return, which is bonkers. And there are so many other wins like this already, and it's just been a few weeks since we minted out, so yeah, it's really huge. Really happy. Number 7, what's next for you in Web3? I am currently minting my first Christmas music NFT. It's a trilingual version of Silent Night, and the reason I did all 3 languages in English, French and German is because my great-grandfather was actually a soldier in the trenches on the Western Front, an English soldier fighting the Germans, and he experienced the Christmas truce, which is a real historical event which happened where both sides stopped fighting and exchanged gifts, sang this carol song together, and played football on no man's land. And my great-grandfather was one of those people, which I'm honoured to say. And I really wanted to do something special for the festive season, and this just felt right. And seeing as I'm British but raised in Paris and based in Berlin, it just felt right to sing every verse in a different language. And I hope you guys have a good listen and really like it. I'm so incredibly proud of it, and we're about to mint that out as well. So yeah, that's awesome. What is your New Year's resolution? Number 8. I have a few. I need to learn German fluently so I can become European again and have work in Germany without visa hassles in future. To find more balance in my life, I want to incorporate more meditation and exercise, because I've basically been on Twitter Spaces 24/7 this year. I also want to I had a whole list. Anyway, those are the 2 big ones. I want to start my first podcast, which I'll be getting down to in the next few weeks. I think those are the main 3. I don't want to overextend myself and make none of that realistic. So let's stick to that for now. Yeah. 9, anything else you want to add? Your questions have been amazing. So we've basically gone through everything really. Just want to say this year has been a game changer for me. My life is completely turned around, and I have to credit Web3. It was all thanks to them that they gave me hope again by having me play my songs, by supporting them. And literally last year I was in a very dark place. I thought I would have had to give up music. I was about to take a coding course, and had I known back then that I would be touring around Europe in just a few months, opening the biggest show of my entire life, touring with one of my favourite bands ever from childhood, and to be able to make a living from my music again just blows my mind. And to have connected with so many wonderful, talented and incredible people all around the world thanks to Web3 absolutely blows my mind. So let's go. Bring on 2023. I'm very excited for it. And if you're willing, sing something to wrap up. Well, seeing as it's Christmas, let's do Silent Night. I'll just do the first 2 verses of Silent Night in English and French. So here we go. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild. Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. Douce nuit, sainte nuit, dans les cieux, l'astre luit, le mystère annoncé s'accomplit. Cet enfant sur la paille endormi, Si l'amour infini c'est l'amour infini. Thanks, guys.